Everybody, I'm Elisa and welcome to Polymer Clay TV. Today I want to make something really fun, and I'm going to use the metal stamps, and I want to show you that there's so many possibilities with this technique. You can do anything you want, obviously, because there's so many designs. There's 20 designs, but I just wanted to show you, this is just a pendant I made, and it was very, very simple to do, and I'm going to show you how I did it. But this is a cane slice. You can incorporate cane slices. You can incorporate glass pieces. You can incorporate broken pieces you have that you're wondering, what the heck do I do with these? This is a great technique to incorporate broken pieces. You can find metal pieces you like. You can find, obviously, glass pieces. But even cooler, you can make your own polymer clay pieces and then embellish around those. So let me give you an idea of what we're going to do here today. Let me move these out of the way. Let's start with a polymer piece, okay? And let's get creative with that. So you just want to condition up some clay, whatever you think will look good with it. I'm going to use this blue because I think it'll be easier for you to see on camera. And eventually I'm going to use a bronze powdered pigment, so it'll go with it nicely. So you want to condition your clay, like I said, and I like to roll it out so that it's not super thin and not super thick. So a number 1, or the thickest setting on your pasta machine, is probably good enough right there. And you can even stretch it a little if you need to be. It doesn't need to be that thick, you know, just enough so that you don't, if you're making a pendant or whatever, that it doesn't break. So I want to just lay this down, and I want to give it a push into the clay. Now you could cut it out and insert it in there, but this is going to help it to stick together when you bake it. Now you could use some liquid clay in between, you know, the already baked clay and the non-baked clay, and that's probably a good idea. You would just paint a little bit of liquid clay in there, and that'll help it bond. But I'm not really looking to keep this piece as it is, so I'm not going to do that right now. So then you just go through your tools and you start playing with them and see what you think would look cool. And this tool here, it's kind of like a scallop and it has little lines in it. Looks so cool right around a piece. And so you just stamp. I pull back a little because I want a little bit of indentation there. So I'm just continuing around the entire piece. And you see how you get this beautiful design that starts emerging? And then you can continue to add things to it. And the beauty of this is, since it's polymer clay, if you don't stamp it right, you can just do it over. So just continue around until you like it. And that looks really pretty. So I'm going to put my tool back. And then I like the idea of like something smaller in between, and I think this guy will look really cool. And this one here has a little texture. It's kind of a similar shape to this, but I'm going to kind of pull it out by going in between each of these designs in the same fashion, giving it a little rock back and forth. Look at how cool that gives it. You know, what a cool look it gives it. And really, you can do anything with this. This can be used, you know, as a pendant. You can make a box. You could make a top of a jar. Whatever your heart desires, you can. Once you do this technique, you can make anything with it. And that looks really cool. Simple and cool. Okay, and then you can continue to add and just embellish. So I like maybe a little dot here, going all the way around. It's really just a matter of playing with it and trying things and seeing what you like. Look at how pretty that is. Now, let me just give you an idea with a little bit of powdered pigment, because you may not be able to pick up on all the texture there. So I'm just going to take my finger and rub a little powdered pigments right onto the design so that it highlights the texture of the stamp. Look at how pretty that is. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. And so simple. It really is. So, I mean, you can then use a cookie cutter to cut this out. You can freehand it. You can do whatever you want with it. But I just used 3 of the stamps and got this fabulous look. So now let's do something a little different. Let's take the clay, and I actually already have a piece that's molded. This is our henna paisley mold, and I molded one of these squares. Okay? And so I have that ready to go. This can be now the center, and I think I'm going to pull this one apart because I was only doing this to show you. And I'm going to reuse this clay. So, this is a square shape, so you can do some even different things with it. And I mean, you have 20 tools to work with in this set, so it gives you a lot of possibilities. So once again, I'm going to go down to my thickest setting on my pasta machine. Now, since this clay has not been baked, there's going to be no problem with it sticking to the clay. You don't have to worry about adding any liquid clay. So I'm just going to place my piece there. I'm going to place this in the center, or semi-center, wherever you can get it, and just give it a little push so that it adheres to the clay. So then I'm going to come back and let's see. There's several of those scallops, but I think I'm going to go with a little bit of a. This is more of like a flower petal one. So let's do some of those. Okay. So I'm just going to start at the corners. Same rocking motion. And get this design on there. So I'm doing each of the corners, so it creates that design on the corner. And then you can come back with anything once again. Let's do this scallop. This scallop would be really nice. This is a bigger scallop. And I'm going to rock it back. You'll see it better once I highlight it with the powdered pigments. And so you could just continue to build and build and build and get something that's so incredibly cool, but so easy to do. I mean, really super easy. Let's see what this one will look like. Now you can even build on what you have here. Like, so I could even put a little tip over here, you know, another design that goes on the end, which just enhances it more. And then it gives me more room to embellish with some other fun ones. Let's try this guy. And I'm going to go in between here. And this is more like a little starburst kind of shape, which I really like. And I'm going in between the petals with these. And of course, like I said, you don't have to do what I'm doing. You just let your imagination flow and see what you come up with. Because there really is infinite amount of possibilities with this technique. That is for sure. So let's see. Let's do another one here. This is like a basket weave design here. And you can actually create a basket weave design. So let's see. It's another one. Let me see where I went. Maybe I'll just come over here and do this here. It's just so simple. It is so simple. Maybe go this direction over here. I love it. Okay, and so then you have that idea. Let me put a little powdered pigments on so you can see. And I'm using, this is a copper powdered pigment. And this is a great way to give it a more of a primitive kind of look as well. You know, you can get like a primitive look by doing this. Just a real neat look. And see how when you add your powdered pigments or ink or whatever, then it totally highlights it. And you would do that with the piece inside. Just to your liking, really. That's it. And if you say, oh, I want to add a little something there, you can come back and do that too. You know. So here's a little guy. I could come back and put a little dot at the end of each one of these. So you're never done until it feels right to you. You know. So just have fun with it. It really is a fun technique. Let's put another one in here. I mean, you could just keep adding texture and texture and texture and just getting different looks. So that's that with a polymer clay piece in the center. And you can build up. You could put a little snake around it, whatever you want. And as you can see, I just folded it up when I made this cane piece. I kind of just like made it, you know, like a little flower. So I just cut it out with a cookie cutter. Simple, simple, simple. So that's that. Now, you would do it the same way if you wanted to use a glass piece. You can, I mean, that's the thing. You can just try it with anything. So we also talked about broken pieces. Let me just talk about that real fast. So the broken piece, you may have something on the back, and you may want to break, like this was a pin at one time. You may want to break it off, but you know what? I kind of like the idea of leaving it on, because then it's something that gets embedded in the clay and then it holds on a little better, if you know what I mean. So let's do a different shape with this one. I'm not going to run it through the pasta machine. I'm just going to make my own shape because it's long and I just want to make sure that I get the right shape for it. So I'm just reusing the same piece of clay. And let's see, let me get it a little neater for you. Now, metal and glass you can use with polymer clay and bake it directly in the oven at the same temperature you bake your clay. It's not going to hurt metal or clay. So that's the advantage of using metal or clay. You don't want to probably use plastic unless you've tested the plastic and you know the plastic is going to work, because you don't want to go through all the work just to find out that, you know, the plastic melts on you when you put it in the oven. So let me get something that's a little more presentable. I need it to be at least that long. And you can use your blade to shape. That's what I do. Okay, so this one here, I don't know if it has to cover the whole thing, you know. You can just, but I'm gonna use this to push into the clay. You see how it had that extra piece there? And I'm just pushing it right into the clay. If that pin backing, you know, if you have something like that and it's not laying right, then take your pliers or some kind of something that you can get it off with and just cut it off. So here I have that, and now I can embellish any way I want with this. So let's use one of these. These are really cool. These are meant to go along the edge, but you can certainly do anything you want with them. I certainly like to think outside the box, but here it is. Here's what they look like on the edge. Okay, it kind of gives it a southwestern look, and I like that. That's really cool. I don't think this flower will fit in there nicely, so I need something smaller. I got this. We have the leaf that's in there. It's like a multi-stemmed leaf. And let's try that around here. That looks really cool. I didn't plan that, so 3 would fit, so it's going to have to be 2. But you see how I've just taken something that's broken and I'm able to make it look really pretty with very little effort. It's just playing around and trying the different designs and just having fun with it, really. And I think that looks really cute, you know, and it wasn't very much to do. Let's play around here. That looks good. And now there's a big opening underneath there. You could seal that with clay. It's totally up to you. You know, you could put some clay in there first. But, you know, since it had the backing on it, I think it once I fire it, it's going to stay. You know, I think it'll stay in there. But then, since this is metal here, I have this other mold, this butterfly mold. I was thinking, oh, well, I could embellish on there as well. So I molded myself a butterfly, which I just broke. That wasn't good. Let me do them again. Should have been a little more careful. I need some more clay here. Okay. So get your clay conditioned well, so before you go put it in the mold. And I'm just using Primo brand today, but you can use any brand you want. It's not really, you know, a project that matters, as long as you know, you use it thick enough for whatever you're going to make. But like I said, I prefer the Primo brand. It just is it's a good sturdy brand. It's not going to break real easy on you. It remains flexible after you bake it. So Here we go. I'm just going to mold out one of these butterflies, and I tend to use too much clay all the time, so then I shave it off. That's how I mold. And it's a little, skinnier in an area. You could always add more clay. We're just going to go with this for now. So let me get it out of the mold without breaking it again. And there's that. And so then I can just embellish even more on here, because it was kind of plain. And when I bake this, it'll adhere to the metal, but what I'll probably end up doing, what I would end up doing, is then coming back, pulling it off, and gluing it on. So as you can see, there's lots and lots of ways to use these tools to enhance your designs. It's really, I mean, it's so easy and so fun. Let's just do one more with this glass, and then, I'm going to leave you guys to play. So that way you can see all the different possibilities. Now this one here I did with the punchinella that we have in the shop. It's a flower punchinella, and I used pan pastels, and that would be really cool as a middle. So basically you can do cabochons in the middle, you could stick a stone in the middle, you could stick metal, you could stick glass. I mean, the sky is the limit with this. That's the beauty of it. It's a great way to use up broken pieces or pieces that you've made and you didn't make into a necklace or anything. You can go ahead and use them this way. So here's this. I think I have an oval cookie cutter. Where have they gotten? I know I have lots of oval cookie cutters, but I can't find it at the moment, so we'll just go with this. Alright, so let's see. I'm going to do these leaves again. But I want to go all the way around with them, I think. And you'll see that cool look you get with it. Right. So easy, but yet so neat looking. I just love it. I just love it because it's so pretty and so nice with not a ton of work. Because you know me, I don't have a lot of patience. If you've watched my videos, I like things that are quick and easy. Nothing wrong with that. And so here I'm just using that little dot one and going all the way around. And look at how gorgeous that is. I could come back and add a little snake around it, anything I want. That is, again, the beauty of this. So just play around, have fun, use different molds, use different stamps. Like I said, there's 20 in this set. Try different colors of clay, try pigment powders, try ink, try pan pastels, and each time you're going to get a really cool and different look. So have fun with it, and thanks for joining me, and see you next time.